Welcome to KYC Data's online fulfillment website. In this video, we're going to show you how to run a new prospect list or run account. So here I'm on the screen to log in. I've already saved my name and password, so all I have to do is hit the login button. It automatically brings me to the tab My Prospects. So these are the counts or prospect lists that I have already run. I can come in here and I can modify one if I want to maybe add some new Texas zips to my Texas zip file, or I can just make any changes to the dates or anything by clicking modify. But in this sample, we're just going to create a new one. So in the upper right, we have the create prospect list. In this list creation wizard, we're just going to go through the steps here, tab 1 through 6, and we're going to see how the information gets populated on the left side as we build our list. So list name, I'm going to name it Massachusetts Counties. Click next. In my geography, I just want some Massachusetts counties. So already the first tab is county. This is probably the selection that the majority of our customers use, so you're already on the county tab. You first have to select the state where your counties are located. So I'm going to come here and start spelling out Massachusetts, M-A-S-S, Massachusetts. If you do the abbreviation, say for Texas, if you start typing TX, you will not be brought to Texas. You need to spell out the state. So there's Massachusetts. And now I can add my counties on the right. And again, I can just start typing them in. So Plymouth, P-L-Y, there it is. I also want Essex. There it is. Hampton. I can do Hampshire and Hampton. I can just hit enter. And let's see, I'll take Middlesex, enter. So I don't even have to spell it out completely. As soon as the green bar is over the one that I want, just hit enter. Okay, so I will take all of those counties. I don't need to omit any counties. I'm only entering the ones that I want. The only time you will ever omit a geography is when you've selected a bigger selection, like a state. You've selected all of Massachusetts, and now you just want to omit or exclude a county or two within that state. The same thing with zip codes. The only time you ever want to enter omitted zip codes is if you've selected a whole county, but now you want to exclude a handful of zip codes within that county. So it will probably be rare that you need to omit, but those are the instances in when you would enter an omitted county, or again, zip codes. If you wanted to, you can add and omit within zip codes and SCFs. So it's the same concept. And so if I didn't want counties in Massachusetts, I instead wanted zip codes, I would completely ignore the county tab A. I would come straight to tab B, enter my state where the zip codes are located, and then start entering my zip codes or my SCFs, which is down here. Again, you have to select the state where they're located, and then you could add either the SCFs or omit them with the understanding that we just stated. Now states, you will only come to the states tab if you want the entire state. You do not come here if you want zip codes within a state, SCFs within a state, or counties within a state. You use tabs A or B for that. So again, tab C is if you want the entire state. Now, if you wanted a national file, you could just simply click select all. Now you've got everything. If you want a national file except for a couple of different states, you can come in here and just click the X and get rid of them. Or you could come over here and omit them. Either way, they will both work that way. Now you see over here on the left, you have this option to show what you selected. So I selected some Massachusetts counties. There they are. Now if I want to get rid of one this way, I can also click remove, and it removes it right there. Now I know on these states where I selected full states, I just did that as an example, so I'm going to select delete all to get rid of all these states. I really don't want them. So now they're gone, okay? So now the last tab is upload. This is where you can select a CSV or a TXT file from your computer and have it loaded. So you don't have to manually key in zip code after zip code. Or if you have a list of 30 counties, if you have the FIPS codes, the 5-digit codes that go with each county, you can just upload it instead of manually entering them. So keep in mind over here, these notes, you can only be a TXT or a CSV file. And it has to just be one column with just one type of geographic location. So you cannot upload a list of zip codes and FIPS codes. You can upload a list of zip codes, and when you're done, then upload a separate file that just has the other zip code or FIPS code, okay? Now you can also download an example. See here, if you come here and you come to FIPS codes, that's probably going to be, well, that and zip codes will probably be the most of what you what you'll be loading. You can click down as soon as you select what type of geography it is. Now the download example option comes here where you can click on it. It comes down to the bottom, and here you see the example. So if it is a FIPS code that begins with a 0, the leading 0 will come off, but these FIPS codes will still load just fine. So just keep that in mind. It's just one column. It can't be ranges. There can't be commas in between them. It's just one column with your zip codes or FIPS codes. And again, you can also upload states or SCFs. It all works the same. Once you go and locate the file from your computer, you'll select whether you're loading them to be included or excluded, or added or omitted, because it could be that you selected a few states and now you want to omit some zip codes. Just make sure then you select omit before you load it. Okay, so usually you're going to be using the add, and you'll hit upload file. Once you do that, you'll get a message here at the bottom in red that tells you that it was successful, and it will even tell you how many zip codes or FIPS codes you just loaded. So it's kind of a nice confirmation. Alrighty, trying to keep the video brief. Let's move on. We'll click next. Here you have your demographics. You'll see first you've got record types, the little question marks. If you hover over them, it helps explain what type of records they are. You've got your new mortgages, which are new homeowners with mortgages. You've got other mortgages. These are refinances and equity lines of credit. And then you've got warranty deeds, which is new homeowners without a mortgage. If you do not select any of these, the default will give you all three. Same thing on dwelling types. If you do not select one, then the system will automatically give you both single families and apartment condominiums. Keep in mind that apartment and condominiums are purchased. We do not provide renters. Okay, so now here on the bottom, you've got mortgage amounts, purchase amounts, recording dates, and published dates. Please keep in mind that if you're going to be selecting mortgage amounts or purchase amounts, you should select one or the other, not both. If you select both, you are restricting the system to find records that fit both criteria, not either or. So let's say we want mortgages of at least $60,000 and up. I'm going to put $60,000 there. I'm going to leave purchase amount blank. Recording dates here for an explanation. That's the date recorded at the courthouse, whereas published dates this is the date that it was available on our system. Again, you do not want to enter both recording dates and published dates. You want to select either or. So I'm going to go back just this week. I want to go from the 18th to today, the 22nd. And then I'll select next. Okay, consumer fields, it's not ready yet, so that's easy. Let's go next. Suppression. Do you want to eliminate addresses received from your previous orders? Yes, I do not want duplicates. I want to mail out completely new records, so I will always have yes on. It will be rare that you select no. The default is yes, but it depends on what you're doing. If you want to get those duplicates, go ahead and hit no. Now the next button is Run Prospect List, so we'll click that. And here we go. We've got the results here, 787 records. Over here, my list now has a number. Here's the number. Here's my name, Mass Counties. My result, 787. So now if I would like to see a breakout of this, state, county, and quantity, I want to see it in tab format. I'm going to select this report. This is the prospect list report. It's a breakout. It's a breakout by state, county, and quantity. You have other options that you can select here. I want state, county, quantity. So select report. Here it is. So in Essex for this week, there was 219. Hampshire, 20. Middlesex, Plymouth, Suffolk. So those are the county breakout for this week. If I want to see the settings report, that's the criteria. I can select that here. It's a PDF. It comes down to my lower left hand of the screen. Depending on which browser you're using, again, don't use Internet Explorer. Doesn't work well with our site, but in Google Chrome, which is what I'm using, you can go ahead and it will go to the lower left of your screen. You'll click on it, and here we see it opened. It's showing me what I selected in my list, my dates, my mortgage amount, my counties. It uses the FIPS here. Hopefully soon we'll be adding the county names as well. Okay, so I want to go back, just come back over to my tab KYC data. Now I have a couple of options here. Everything's been saved along the way. You can see it already has a name and a number. So I don't have to worry about clicking save or anything. I can go back to my prospects, which was this tab here where we started. I can save it. All options are going to be saving it. I can click this button, which will just bring me to a brand new list creation wizard, so I can start a new one. Or I can check out, which will place this list in the cart so that I can check out. So let's go ahead and hit checkout. So here, it brings me right to the checkout or your cart. And here you see your list number, your list name. If I wanted to change that now, I could by modify. It's got the results. There's 787 records. If I only want 500 of them, I just go ahead and change that right now. If I happen to have a purchase order number, I can enter it. I don't, so I'm going to leave it blank. If my file layout includes a column for key code, I could enter that key code here, but my file layout does not. I just have name and address, lender name, and mortgage amount. So you can see the breakout here. I've got my base price, I've got the additional cost for those two fields, and there's my total price. So when I'm ready, I can click I agree, and I can request the files, and which will then take you to entering your credit card. And then once you've entered your credit card and the file has processed, it will bring you right here to the tab My Orders. You'll see your order right here at the top where you can download the file. Again, it will go to the lower left-hand corner of my screen where I can open the file there. It's a CSV which opens in Excel. I can also click here for my invoice to see a copy of the invoice, or again the settings report. So that is just a quick rundown. Didn't want to make it too long to scare people away from watching a long video. So if you have questions, please give us an email or send us an email, kyc@kycdata.com.